Hi boys and girls, welcome back. Sorry, my last video was part 3 out of 5. This is part 4. But I accidentally cut you off on the letter sound for L. Okay, we know that the blue letters so far are the consonants, and the red letters right here are the vowels. And we talked about the difference between the vowels and the consonants. Vowels have more than one sound. They have short sounds or long sounds, and sometimes they even have unusual sounds, which we will talk about a little bit later on. But right now we're focusing on the 5 main vowels: A, I, O, U, E, or in order it'd be A, E, I, O, U. And we're focusing also on just the short vowel sounds for now. So short A is A, I is I, E. Okay, and we also start talking about the consonants. And we are almost done with all of these blue consonant letters. The difference between the vowels and the consonants is that the consonants are sounds that you actually have to use your mouth to help you make. For example, when you make the letter sound for the letter M, it's you press your lips together. And when you do its nosy neighbor, we talked about nosy neighbors, N, your tongue is actually on the top, the roof of your mouth. It's called the roof because it's a top, just like a house has a roof. So you press your tongue behind your top teeth on that little hump, that little like ridge that's in the top of your mouth, right on the roof of your mouth. You press your tongue against it and you stretch out the sound. Okay, so we talked about how you actually have to use parts of your mouth to make these consonant sounds. Okay, your lips or your tongue, your teeth. Sometimes you have to use the back of your throat, but that's what makes the consonant sounds different from the vowel sounds. Vowel sounds, your mouth is always open, and we're going to learn a little bit later, vowels have more than one sound. Okay, we also talked about stretchy sounds. Right now we're doing stretchy sounds, which are sounds that are continuous. Say that word with me. Continuous. That means you can stretch onto that word or that sound, You can stretch it out like a rubber band as long as you want, and the sound does not change. No matter how long you hold on to that sound, it will not change if it's truly a stretchy sound. If you're trying to stretch out the letter sound, you notice that the sound sort of starts to change. It starts to sound like an or something else. Then it's going to be a different kind of consonant sound, which we will talk about in a little bit. Right now, we left off with L, which makes the sound L. Again, just like all the other blue consonants, you are actually using your mouth to make the sound L. You're pressing your tongue right either at the bottom or behind your front top teeth. L. Try it with me. Ready? L. Good. And L is a stretchy sound. If you put your hand like this flat against your throat and your neck, you should feel your voice box is on. That means you can feel a little vibration, a little shaking in your throat, which means you are using that voice box. So your voice is on when you make the sound for L. So far, out of all the consonants, remember that's the blue one, the blue ones. Out of all these consonant sounds that are stretchy, almost all of them, we use our voice. Our voice is on. Okay, we use our voice for and stretchy and for the vowels a, I, e. And our voice is off for only 3 of the stretchy consonants so far. That was H, which makes the sound. If you take your hand flat like this, put it against your neck and your throat, not hard. Don't squeeze hard. Don't choke yourself. But if you just press it lightly against your neck, you can feel nothing. There's no vibration. That means your voice is off. Okay? See the little sound marks? Voice on, voice off. So your voice is actually off for and for the letter S, and for the letter. We also talked about how S and Z, you do the same thing with your mouth. It's almost like you're holding an invisible ball of air on your tongue when you make the sounds S and Z. But the difference is your voice is on for the stretchy Z consonant sound. Try it with me. Magic finger up. Let's trace over it and make the sound together. Z. You do the same thing with your mouth, but you turn your voice off. Voice off for S. Ready? Do you hear the difference? Z. Same thing with V and F. Your top teeth are biting your bottom lip. These are the lip biters. But V is for voice on. Voice is on. Try it with me. And F is voice off. See? No sounds, no voice. Get your magic finger up. Trace over F. Make the sound. Good. So S and Z, you do the same thing with your mouth, but S is voice off, Z is voice on. V is voice on, but your top teeth are on your bottom lip. F, same thing with your mouth, top teeth on bottom lip, but F is for off, voice off. Try it with me. Voice on. Try the difference in that one with me. Did you hear it? Good. We also talked about how M and N are the nosy neighbors. They are neighbors because they stand next to each other in the middle of the alphabet. If you looked at the alphabet line in ABC order, the whole way from A through Z, right in the middle is the letter M, and right after it is his nosy neighbor N. Okay, so they're neighbors, they stand next to each other, and they're nosy because the sound in the M and the N, actually, even though you use your mouth, it actually comes from your nose, from the little tunnel or the nasal passage, the little holes up inside your nose where air comes from. So you use the air from your nose and you push it out when you make the sound and the sound because those are nosy neighbors, M and N. And that's why when you have a cold and your voice kind of sounds like this, if you pinch your nose together, that's what your voice sounds like when you have a cold. So when you're trying to say something with lots of M's, like mom, it kind of sounds like bub because you're stuffed up. So when your nose is stuffy, you can't get the air through your nasal passage to those little tunnels in your nose, and it sounds more like a b instead of a Okay, so that's why M and N sound a little bit funny when your nose is stuffy and you have the sniffles. Okay, so we are almost at the end of all of our stretchy sounds. We have a few more to go yet. We have, this one's a little tricky. Okay, this one I do not have a magnet letter for, so I'm just going to write this on my board or on my tray. That is the stretchy sound Y. I'm going to tell you right now, Y is a stretchy voice on. We definitely use our throat and our voice box to make the sound for the letter Y. Okay, Y, when it's a consonant, sometimes Y is a vowel, but right now we're learning Y as a consonant. It is a stretchy voice on sound, but some teachers don't really teach it as stretchy. All the stretchy sounds, you can hold on to those. You can stretch them out for as long as you want. Okay, and the sound doesn't change, but most teachers do not like to stretch out Y, so they can teach it as a stopper or as both. I tell my students it's both, but when you stretch it out, the Y sound, it sounds a little silly, and it kind of tickles the back of your throat. Here's what Y sounds like when you stretch it out. Yee. Kind of sounds like E, but it's not. It's just E. Like like you're saying the word yo-yo or yellow, but you're getting stuck on the first sound in yellow. I don't know if it tickles the back of your throat, but it tickles mine. Try it with me. Good. If you didn't put your magic finger up, put your magic finger up. It's one short slanted line this way. And then pick up your finger and trace down. There's a line here. Y would be a letter that goes under the line. E. Good, your turn. Okay, so believe it or not, Y is actually a stretchy voice on consonant sound. Okay, but it's okay if you learn it as a stopper because most of the time we do not stretch out Y. We just go y, 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 and we stop it really quick. Okay, but when it's a stretchy, it does sound like this. Y. Good. So, boys and girls, guess what? We just learned all of the stretchy letter sounds. I should say all the stretchy sounds for almost all of the letters in the alphabet. We definitely did all the vowels, A, E, I, O, U. We did the short vowel sounds, A, I, O, E. And we did the stretchy consonants. Okay, look how many of the stretchy sounds we use our voice for. There's Y, E, W. Make the sounds with me to review. Ooh. Good, that's the wind sound. Ooh. Be careful that you're saying and not We don't see an rat, we see a rat. Let's go to the voice off consonants. Now the short vowel sounds. A, I, E. Oops, I forgot this consonant. Y, E. Okay. And now we are ready to move on to the stoppers. The difference between a stretchy and a stopper is that stopper sounds cannot be stretched out. We cannot continue or hold on to these sounds for very long because if we do, the sound is going to change. Okay, there are no vowels that are stoppers, only the consonants. Okay, most of my consonant magnet letters are blue, but there's one I think that might be red by mistake. Okay, so we're going to focus on the stoppers in our next video. And I'm going to show you what happens if you try to accidentally stretch out a stopper sound. Okay, I'm going to show you and model for you how the sound changes. So stay tuned for our final part 5 of the letter sound review so you can figure out the difference and hear the difference and practice the difference between the stretchy sounds of the alphabet and the stoppers. Okay, thanks for tuning in.